Hey, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk about the seasonal shift into winter and embracing the darker, colder months. On this channel, I really like to talk a lot about building out intentional routines in each season, so routines that are aligned with the season. I believe that that is beneficial to our mental and physical health, and it helps me maintain my sanity. So it's something that I like to share. And in the winter, during the darker, cooler months, there's definitely something I really enjoy about the winter months, but it also comes with other downsides, like less light. And so leaning into some of the goals that we can focus on during these months. So I'm going to start with 4 main goals and then some subcategories for what to focus on during these darker, colder months to take care of ourselves. With the change in light and the time change during the winter, that can kind of be rough. And especially for me, my body starts to feel like it needs to wind down when it's getting dark, and I want to get up early with the sun. So one of the things that is helpful is first thing in the morning, I just open up all the windows and I kind of just look out the window, really to just see the light, and even if it's not a sunny day. So just to help set my clock and my body's rhythm, getting outside first thing in the morning, which is not as easy to do when it's cold and dark and gloomy, but getting out to feed the chickens and feed the birds, even just a few moments on the front porch just to go outside and be in the light, whatever light there is. The second thing is just really focusing on nourishment. Obviously, nourishment looks a little different depending on the season, and I think having a garden really taught me that. But during this time of the year, I really like to focus on consuming grounding foods like root vegetables. I learned in my herbal studies a few years back, consuming warming foods like ginger, turmeric, things like that that warm the body, and making teas and soups with these wonderful spices and herbs. This can really help support the body this time of the year when it is cold. So I love to do like a ginger honey lemon tea first thing in the morning. It's very easy to make, but it's very good to help support the body, both because you have heat from the tea itself, from the warm liquid, but you also have the heat from that root, the ginger root. In Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, using nature to support your body. I'm up pretty early on most days, so I like to have my tea or my coffee and just take a few deep breaths. I'm usually the first up, and then I wake up the rest of the family, and then we get moving on the day. So I like to try to get in some deep breathing and just some kind of grounding exercises to sort of set intentions for the day. I will do that usually on the couch with my tea or coffee. I usually try to eat intuitively. And so if I feel like caffeine is just not working for me, I will opt for tea instead of caffeine. Also, with nourishment, just consuming really warming foods. Breakfast has become a huge part of my routine. When I was younger, I used to kind of skip breakfast and not be as good about it. And it's so not really good for me at all. I need to make sure I am having a good, solid, healthy breakfast. So today I am making some cinnamon banana oatmeal muffins. These are great for on the go because you can just warm them up and take them with you, but you make sure you actually have something that's healthy for breakfast. I love to have a warm bowl of oatmeal. Sometimes if you're in a rush to get out, it can be kind of tricky if you don't have something healthy to grab. So these are good. You can make these ahead of time. You can store them, freeze them, warm them up, have them with a little bit of butter and honey and some tea or coffee, and they're really, really delicious. I usually start by getting something ready for breakfast in the morning, and then when my kids get up, they'll let me know if they want what I'm making or if they want, eggs and toast or something else. So I usually have some sort of multiple options for breakfast so that everybody can sort of choose what they want, but it's relatively easy to put together. So these are great because you can do it ahead of time and have them ready to go for whoever wants them, and they're also a really good snack. So I added some cinnamon and vanilla bean. These are made with yogurt. I'll put the ingredients in the description box. They're easy to throw together. The only thing that you really want to make sure is that you have the instant oats. The oats, you're putting them in whole, so you want to make sure that they are the instant ones so that they cook in the muffins. And also, there's no sugar added to this recipe, so adding a little bit of honey on top after is going to help with the sweetness. I'm trying to consume less sugar, I'm not perfect about it, but you may want to add like a little bit of sugar so you can adjust the recipe to your liking. Gonna do 2 muffins, a little bit of honey and butter, warm those up, but having a warm breakfast, I think, is another way to support your body during the cooler months. Winter is a really great time to shift perspective and set new goals. Winter it really comes down to a mindset. And especially as I get older, I realize our mindset is so important to how we approach anything in life, day to day, our routines, our goals, and even how we feel about the seasons, how we spend our time. It's a good time to reflect through, journaling. Journaling has become a very important part of my routine as well. And when I was younger, I used to kind of think like, oh, journaling. I treated it more like my planner and cutesy, and now I like take journaling really seriously. And I do brain dumps and I make lists, and it's a very important part of my routine. But reflecting on the previous seasons and the year, setting new year intentions, creating goals, that's something I like to do in the morning while I'm eating my breakfast. I also take vitamin D in the winter. I obviously get more vitamin D when the sun is out, so with less sun, it's important to make sure I'm taking those supplements. So as a part of my routine every morning, I usually eat my breakfast, I bring out my computer, I journal a little bit. I try to do as much of this as possible before everybody gets up in the morning, and I've been back on Pinterest because I love Pinterest for creating vision boards. I like to create vision boards for the new year, organize the boards I already have, reflect on what I have pinned in the past, and organize and everything just to get my head wrapped around my new goals. I love to do a collage vision board, and especially Pinterest is a great way to create vision boards for yourself. And so I like to do that in the morning as well, in addition to doing like a brain dump or journaling. I miss Pinterest so much. It was such a great part of my routine back in the day, and then I just kind of dropped off, but I have been back on it to create new goals. I also have my journals. I have my jujitsu journal because when I write things down, I retain more. And then I've also been focusing in the mornings on, since we're in the holiday season, just what I want to do for giftings this year. I want to be really intentional with giftings. I mean, in the past, I feel like I've given gifts that I'm not sure that people really even wanted, even if it's something that I thought that they would absolutely love. I'm noticing that everybody in my life is a lot more minimal. I've been thinking more along the lines of like consumables, gift cards to eat out, but also for my garden lovers in my life, I'm looking through the seed catalog, maybe some fun, unique seeds. So I'm kind of wrapping that up this week. To kind of further touch on nourishment, warming foods, grounding foods, a lot of times in the winter, we gravitate towards more soups. So bone broth or veggie broth. Today I'm making a play on like a miso. So starting with a big pot of broth, I actually put that in with the ginger that I already used in the morning to make the tea. So I kept the ginger, putting some bone broth in there. I'm going to add some mushrooms, some green onion, and then a little bit of miso paste. Let the veggies cook down. And then I'm going to add steamed dumplings. I got them from Aldi, and it's going to be like a steamed dumpling soup. So this is a really good go-to for lunch. Warming, but it's healthy ingredients, grounding foods, and super duper yummy. I love the steamed dumplings, but I like to add them with something else. You can also use the ones from Trader Joe's, but I really like the chicken soup dumplings from Aldi. They're really delicious. And this is a perfect lunchtime meal to warm the body with healthy ingredients. Super delicious. So beyond warming foods, another way to warm the body in the winter is to just move. For me, it's much easier to exercise in the summer. I'm more motivated. I want to get outside. I'm excited. In the winter, it's kind of easy to just want to like sit on my heated blanket and I don't have the motivation as much to start the workout. Some fun things that you can do are these like dance routines on YouTube if you like to dance. They have these really fun routines. This is the first time I was doing this one, so I was trying to follow along. There's ones where you can like dance to Taylor Swift songs or K-pop. It's just fun and it gets your body going, or you could turn on headphones and just dance, get movement. When you're cleaning the house, turn on headphones with some great music, but get your body moving so that you work up a little bit of a sweat. In the winter, it's really important too, because as I get older, I even notice my joints. It's harder on my joints. So making sure you're warming up your body every day through some sort of exercise. It always feels so much better after you're done working up a sweat, even in the winter, like when we go to the gym to exercise. When we come out of the gym, it just feels less cold. It's your body's all warmed up. And so making sure to do that. And also just stretching has become a part of my daily routine as well. I underestimated stretching for a really long time. I underestimated the importance of it and how it makes my body feel, and the importance of doing it, especially as we age, to make sure we maintain that mobility. In the winter, it's easy for everything to kind of feel a little bit more constricted because there's not as much warmth. Naturally, we're not walking around feeling especially here in Nashville, man, it gets like humid, which I like because it feels like Hawaii, like it feels like I'm on vacation. So in the winter, I just feel a little bit more stiff. So making sure to stretch every single day. I do it, but usually in the morning and sometimes after the workouts as well. I like to really take my time with stretching, do what feels good inside my body. Again, kind of like intuitive stretching is really, really helpful. So even moving, my head around or my neck or areas that I feel are tense, I'm just taking my time with it. That is one of my favorite things. Honestly, it feels so good. The fall here in Tennessee is actually really warm and beautiful. And then after Halloween, the temperature drops pretty significantly. And every day will look a little bit different, but sometimes it'll be really frigid and then some, your body sort of adjusts. But I like to make sure I have layers. I got these from Walmart. These are the best, and they're only $10. They're fleece-lined thermals, so I love to get these for the whole family. I love that they have the thumb holes. These are the Ozark brand, very, very warm. So I love to have those on hand for layering, and I'm all about the cozy fits this time of the year. I have them all laid out, all of my favorite cozy fits. So I wake up first thing in the morning knowing that I want to get into something comfortable, especially if I'm going to be going outside. I've been loving this chai latte throughout the day. I drink tea. I'm not as good about drinking enough water in the winter, so I have to make sure I keep a big glass of water nearby at all times because I will opt for tea. And if I'm drinking caffeine, I just still have to make sure I'm staying hydrated. But this is a turmeric, kind of like spicy chai latte, again with those warming herbs. I love this spicy chai. So I'll usually drink this in the middle of the day if I want just like a midday pickup. And I love to sit down with some tea and a heated blanket and listen to a book if I'm at home. I don't stay inside as much during the spring and the summer. I love to be outside. So in the winter, it's a good time to lean into more reading. I talk about this a lot on my channel, your hobbies, your winter hobbies. So I like to pull out like the sewing machine and practice my piano more and listen to books. And I have my heated blanket, which as my body adjusts to the winter, sometimes the heated blanket is too hot. There's several different settings. But especially on those really cold, frigid days when I just can't seem to get warm, these are some of the things that I like to do to warm up my body. Last but not least is warming baths. I love magnesium baths, and the rule of thumb is 1 cup of bath salts per 50 pounds. So it's important to make sure that you're adding enough of the bath salts to really let that magnesium soak in. I'm going to do a magnesium soak. I put 1 or 2 drops of lavender, and I like to sit and listen to a book or read a book. And that's another way that I like to get super warm in the winter months. Also, if you're feeling sore, stiff, or you're not feeling well, that's a great option as well. The goal of focusing on light and rhythm and supporting your body through nourishment, shifting perspective, and warming your body with different routines and foods, and embrace the darker, colder months. And set intentions for the spring. I think that there's a lot of meaning in each season, and it's important for us to find that balance in each season to take the best care of ourselves that we can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and I'll see you very soon in my next one.